You're all right. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about this house. I don't
It's a fear
like
of the unknown.
it.
That's what people are scared of. It's a fear of the unknown.
I don't like.
And this is the unknown.
Yes.
And we've had a few things happen, and you're a bit shook up.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
he?
Yeah. Yeah. He's aware. Look at him.
Oh, good God, what's
Okay.
here? No, it's really strange. I
Well,
have a job to hold.
He's seeing it, yeah. This building,
To do anyway.
the
but
house,
more
belongs to him in his heart.
I'll let you lead those. How's that?
What is that noise? Shh. Shh.
Sounds like a heartbeat.
Oh my God.
What are you feeling when you walk forward?
Oh, I don't like it.
What is it you're feeling?
What is it you don't
What
like?
is it?
It just doesn't feel right.
Did you see the way that flickered as it came out? Because dust just moves erratically. It doesn't move in straight lines. Now those are impressive. What year is it?
1605.
1605.
Yes, can't you hear me?
Who is on this throne?
Find out yourself.
Orbs are believed to be, by psychics and spiritual people, part of a ghost manifestation, the beginning stage of a ghost actually taking a human form, an apparition, if you like. What we know of them scientifically is that we can't explain them, and that's all we know.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
Did you hear it? It was like a child's cry or a...
Like a woman's
Like a
cry.
woman, like a...
Yeah.
Ah! Or
Like-
something
yeah.
like that.
Feel the essence of him.
Hello again everyone and welcome to the video. My name's Serenity Solo on the Axe and today we're going in with Most Haunted episode 1. Now this is episode 2 on my channel, but the first one was episode 16 which was the pilot. I hope you understand that, but this is actually episode 1. But it's episode 2. I'm confusing myself now. Now I do want to make this fortnightly on my channel, and you will also be getting the as lives as well. The full lives, if I can find them, will be up to the elite members. I'm going to put the full lives up there, but that's my elite Patreon members. But everyone else will get the as lives, so you're not missing out on anything. You'll be getting the best bits from the lives. I'm making this so complicated. So if you're on YouTube, could I please ask for a like, comment and subscribe? I would gratefully appreciate that. Also, if you're on Daily Motion or follow as well, I'd appreciate that too. But I really do appreciate my Patreon members, because it is you that is bringing the content to me to allow me to bring the content straight back to you. As of recording this, I've got none, but I can't monetize this channel. Most of the videos are claimed. That is what I am completely relying on. So anyone who does subscribe to my Patreon, that is who that refers to. So, with that, let's get on with the show.
Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. We're about to embark on one of television's most extensive investigations into the paranormal. We guarantee no tricks, no camera illusions, and no practical jokes. If we find nothing, then you'll see nothing. But if we do manage to catch anything at all, we will share it with you honestly and leave it up to you to make up your own mind.
And also no hate in the chat, please. If you like this show, comment freely. If you don't like this show, comment your opinions, but no hate, please. I am aware of the controversy surrounding it.
While we're in the West Country, we came across one of the strangest hauntings we've ever heard of and just had to investigate. We've come to Athelhampton Hall near Dorchester to spend 24 hours in search of the truth.
I have tried to remove the black bars, but because this was 2002,
There's been a manor at Athelhampton for over 1,000 years, but parts of the present building date back to the Middle Ages. Its history is a checkered one. From a fine manor house, it fell into disrepair as a tenant farm, but was restored to its former glory by the Cook family, who still live here today. If the books are anything to go by, Athelhampton is one of the 10 most haunted houses in England.
well, last time Dennick had 6 inches put into him.
This is no ordinary haunted house, and the brave souls that will be spending the night with me to face the unknown are the crew. Here they all are. Say hello, crew. Hello. They've got no idea what they're letting themselves in for. Now, if we do catch any paranormal activity on camera, somebody that will be looking for hard evidence is, of course, our parapsychologist, Jason Karl. Now, Jason, what sort of things do you try to find?
Well, we're looking for hard evidence, Yvette. I mean, I'm not looking for anecdotal encounters of people saying they've seen something. I want corroborated evidence, so that's things on equipment, that's 2 or 3 people seeing the same thing at once.
So what sort of equipment are you going to be using tonight?
Well, today, one of the things that I want to sort of focus on is the EMF meter. This is the most common ghost hunting gadget that you can get, really. This tests the electromagnetic field, which exists everywhere. Everything has a field which is quite low.
Get better meters than that nowadays.
If the field rises, this will tell us that. And if I can rule out any natural reasons for the rise in the EMF fluctuations, that may indicate that a ghost or spirit or something anyway is happening.
Now, there's supposed to be 7 ghosts here, and one of them is an ape.
That's right.
Strange.
It's an unusual one. I mean, most people think of ghosts as being humans, people walking around. But there are just as many reported sightings of alleged ghost encounters of animals, also even of transportation, buses and cars, and of houses as well. So it's not just humans.
Animals have souls.
Also, is it true to say that ghosts don't like lights?
Well, if you accept that ghosts exist, we can only look at it from statistics. And over the last 10 years, we have seen, through investigations that we've done all over the world, that more unusual occurrences or unexplainable occurrences occur when the lights are off. So yes, if you want something to happen, in order to make them, sort of increase the likelihood, you turn the lights off.
Oh, the big
now,
black
we're going to be meeting
now.
our spiritual medium, Derek Okora, later on. What are you going to be looking for in Derek?
I'm going to be looking for Derek to come up with names, dates, precise and small details, which may seem irrelevant, that we can check. Things that he couldn't have known in advance. I mean, Derek doesn't know where he's coming, so we need very small, intricate pieces of information that he couldn't possibly have known, which I can check with the owner, and later on, perhaps then that will show that what he's doing is something other than remembering facts. We want more evidence than that.
Okay. And, of course, he is the last member of our team, and he's actually on his way to the location now, and we've given him no information whatsoever of Athelhampton Hall, so it's going to be very, very interesting to see what he comes up with.
Yeah, I got a bit of stuttering there, so I had to do a bit of backtracking, which is why I went a bit quieter.
The family moved here in 1957. My grandfather bought the house. He was a surgeon by profession, but he wanted to retire to a house where he could house his antiques collection. And I think he had a taste for something a little bit different as well. I think having lived here for 30 years, there have been certain sort of spine-chilling moments. But I don't think I've ever seen a ghost myself, but I do sort of feel the place has quite a presence. And even my son, who's age 3, has already picked up certain sort of vibes about certain bits of the house being spooky.
It all started when I was pregnant with our first little boy, George. And what worried me most is that it was actually seemed to be very much concentrating on me, and it was a constant presence all the time. And I suppose you could argue I was emotional and hormonal and everything else, but it got very, very oppressive. I had terrible nightmares. I couldn't sleep at night. The first time I put him in his cot when he was 3 weeks old, I bent over the cot and I felt something touch me on my shoulder, and that really frightened me. I actually asked somebody to bless that part of the house and find out what it was, and she found that it was a child, a little girl. She said that she thought it was probably 16th century, this little girl. And I thought that was actually quite sad that it had gone on that long without anybody sort of doing anything about it. And yet also quite pleased and thankful that I had actually asked, even though I felt a bit stupid at the time.
Plenty of people have told me they've sort of seen things, but I think that they always have a little bit of a wry smile when they say it. But the monkey is the ghost that sort of always intrigues me, because this idea of a little pet monkey used to roam around the house, sort of quite free, and then when the Martins died, he was looking for his new master.
There's a big difference between a monkey and an ape.
Patrick's a cynic anyway, so he's kind of not open to anything, whereas I'm a little bit more, I believe more about ghosts and things.
This is the Great Hall, and it's the oldest room in the house. Now, it used to be used as the living room, the dining room, and the bedroom by every member of the household. Now, there are supposed to be 2 ghosts here, seen in the evening time, fighting a duel before they both sit down to have an evening meal together.
Why would they have a meal together after fighting a duel? Unless it was a friendly duel. Bet, maybe?
This tiny chapel has been described as the epicentre of paranormal activity of this particular building. One theory is it's the gateway from this world to the next.
That wasn't my recording there.
The most unusual ghost here at
The sound was a bit
Athelhampton Hall
off.
is that of an ape. Now, it was the family pet of the Martins in the 1500s, and the story goes that the ape was trapped in a secret passageway behind the walls, and often it can be heard scratching to get out.
It's an ape, it could have bashed down the bloody door.
The most reported ghost here is that of the Grey Lady, who walks through the passageways and comes into this bedroom. A housemaid once mistook her for a member of the public, and when she asked the Grey Lady to leave, she obligingly stood up and disappeared through the wall.
Would you like to see that? What would you do?
Our spiritual medium, Derek Akora, had arrived. Now remember, he's been given no prior information about the whereabouts or history of Athelhampton. Just to get us all in the mood, what could be better than ghost stories around the fire and to ask questions that intrigue some members of the crew?
Derek, do you think it's a good idea to have your house blessed?
Well, I personally don't believe that they should be moved on. I would say leave it to them whether they want to move on or not. As long as they're not hurting us or bothering us, and we're quite happy for them to be around us.
It's interesting as well that you ask whether it's a positive thing or not. And if you look at case histories where people have had a house blessed or exorcised, in a lot of cases, the people have reported that in fact it has disturbed them, hasn't moved them on. To give them a blessing is all fair and well if that's your belief, but it may not be the religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs of the person who is the ghost.
Yeah, they resent it.
They resent it because, you know, they look at themselves generally 9 times out of 10. They know they've left the physical body, they're in a spirit body, but they know they still exist.
Is it true that animals can actually see ghosts, or is that just a myth?
Oh, it's not a myth, Rick. It's very true. Because they've not got the intellect and they don't use the brain like us people, and they go off their pure senses anyway.
Can I interrupt you?
Oh, don't use the brain.
Alfie, what is he looking at? Because he's not looking at me, and I know that sounds bad, but he's looking in between me and Rick.
Yes, he's transfixing his eyes, isn't he? Yes.
He sees his reflection in the lens?
No, he's not looking at the camera.
Yeah.
What's he?
Yeah. He's aware. Look at him.
Oh, good God, what's here?
No, it's really strange. I have a job to hold.
He's seeing it, yeah.
Why is he looking?
He's seeing an ape. It's an ape. It's a monkey.
Oh my God.
Sorry, take that off, Sam. Take it off.
Where is it?
It's there, by you, at the back.
If he gets possessed by an ape, he'll have more than 6 inches put into him.
There's a monkey here.
Move your arm around. Just see.
Why the heck is that there? He's seeing it.
Yeah, he's on it again.
He's zoomed in on, yeah.
I was really
See, there's no shadow there now, because I'm blocking it.
I think I'm barking already.
That's weird, just as you were
Whining.
talking about it as well.
Derek, I'm sorry, I have to sort of say, it's a bit bizarre. All of a sudden you're jumping up and saying he's seeing a monkey, he's seeing a monkey.
Well, I thought it was rather bizarre myself.
Well, do you see all kinds of animals then?
Very much so. And you know, where we're talking about dogs, this particular lovely dog, Alfie here, was reacting as an animal reacts to another animal.
Well, not now.
Not as an animal acts to a human being. And this, when Jason was trying to break his eyesight, if another animal's looking at another animal, it'll do exactly what he's done. Duck, look, to keep the eye on the animal, as if they're hunting them and what have you. And he most definitely has seen that monkey that's shown itself there in between both yourself and Rick.
He's seeing something, and that's a fair comment. But
He's seeing the monkey.
To say he's seeing a monkey is, I mean, you perhaps you are seeing that.
Yes.
To say that the dog is seeing the same thing as you,
yeah,
is perhaps a little bit of
Well, all
a
I
big
know
step.
he's seeing
He's
this.
seeing something.
Are you calling him a liar, Jason?
You have to remember that
Yeah.
this is an unusual
On
situation
camera.
as a dog. There's lots of heights.
But he's been normal all of a sudden. As soon as you mention that one question, then he pipes up like that.
A moment ago, he was looking over. He was looking at
But it's not evidence.
Nearly. You's getting possessed by an ape? Can apes possess you?
Suddenly, Derek appeared to be influenced by the spirit of the monkey, known as the Martin's ape.
Are you okay? Yeah, fine. Great. You know? Well, don't do that, Sam.
So I've just thought, can you imagine Derek just like getting fully taken over?
Although Jason was not convinced by Alfie's behaviour, the crew had high hopes for our 24 hours. We had no idea of what was in store.
It's a little bit funny, but it's fine. I mean, it's not scary. It's a little bit weird.
I'm dying to see something. It's not happened to me yet.
This was the first time the crew had spent the night in a haunted house. It was time to start the investigation.
I thought they were shadows. There's people walking in. I thought there were shadows on the wall.
I'm Martin. Who are you? Who are you?
I'm Jason. Hello, Martin.
It didn't sound very
Where's Robert?
sincere there.
My son.
What year is it?
1605.
1605?
Yes, can't you hear me?
Who is on this throne?
Find out yourself. Do you think you are?
Derek appeared to have been taken over by a spirit called Martin. Now, you'll sometimes hear Derek referring to Sam. He's a spirit being who gives information to Derek from people who have departed from this world and wish to communicate with the living. When Derek is seemingly influenced by spirit energy, Sam protects Derek to ensure he comes to no harm.
If it was taken over from someone in the 1600s...
Derek, guided by Martin's spirit, was leading us through the house.
Wouldn't he have been speaking in the same words as the 1600s? Because that sounded quite modern. No, I am watching this show as a believer.
Well, it's very energetic.
If I find anything...
I mean, it just... I'm sorry. It's just... I didn't expect...
I find...
It was like...
out of the ordinary, I will comment on it.
Helped to... In other words, I think I was being cajoled into listening and then suddenly to come too close to me and just express whoever what they wanted to say. And it's a new way, this, even to my experience. It's not damaging, it's not hurtful, but it's just a little bit overpowering with me.
It's very interesting to watch.
Is it?
Well, yeah.
In this lovely building, there are 4 ladies, like sisters. They're very close to each other. And 2 of them come here. 2 of them. Not 4, but 2 come in visitation. They talk about meeting, although I don't feel she's connected. The older lady, quite often, they pass each other by. I just feel as if I'm being drawn by the elder lady to a bedroom.
Right.
And it may be of interest, you know.
See, because 4 people didn't have to be the same time zone, like time period, should I say? They've got 4 in 1.
Walks the stairwell. She walks the stairwell.
Which lady is it?
I can't, at this moment, determine this.
Do you have like a mental picture?
Yes, it's like as if she doesn't... This may sound corny, but as her movements, maybe because of the distance, I don't know, of flooring or what have you, to the naked eye, I feel that if she was seen, she would be looking as if she was not walking down, but floating down the stairwell at times.
I see that more on a stone tape.
And I feel very in a dress, long dress, but very, not bright, very drab. Very drab. Not a brown, not a grey, an in-between.
Right.
Mucky colour.
Yes. And she often walks here. And yes, I've got to go to her bedroom.
There or there?
Right.
Can I walk both? We'll just walk both ways. Come on, Ellie.
So I don't know what keeps happening, it keeps stuttering, so I keep having to go back a bit.
Two of these ladies
Could have been murder to edit.
come here, and one of them is one of the ladies that walks the stairs. She walks the passageways. One of these
Every
two
haunted
sisters,
place has got a grey
she does
lady.
it purposely. The other one stays out of sight, I
Or a white
believe.
lady.
And William Martin walks here as well. William Martin. In actual fact, Sam says, this really belongs to William.
See, I'm not leading those because I
belongs to William.
talk over the show.
This building,
To do anyway.
the
but
house,
more so.
belongs to him in his heart.
So I'll let you lead those. How's that?
What is that noise? Shh, shh.
Sounds like a heartbeat.
Oh my God.
Fortunately, we did pick up the sound of the cot rocking in the next bedroom, even though it's very quiet, and Andrea actually saw it move on its own.
Quiet. How was this bit unseen then? Oh, could she have been rocking it?
How is it rocking?
It was just going. No, but it wasn't doing it like
No.
that. It was going very definite.
Yeah, I heard it in there as if he
Oh
said
no,
it.
she would have stood there.
As soon
But
as
she
I
can't
looked
have
at
been.
it, it was doing it and then it stopped. No, it wasn't doing it fast. It was doing it much more slowly.
Like a control.
Yeah.
Was it like...
God, I heard that.
Yes.
I heard
Yes,
that. I heard that.
She said it.
So not...
Like that. It was doing it definitely with quite a lot of
With control, yeah. And that's a heavy cot, so you'd need a lot of physical strength.
We didn't catch it.
Andrea, where she was stood, there was no one else around except for us three and the camera people in the room, so there can't have been anyone in here. There's nowhere they could have gone. I did hear the noise. We all heard it, didn't we?
I heard it. But do you know something? And I'm not adding this in, but when I heard the thing, I don't know whether it was your... Did you cry out? Did you go, oh, or anything?
Well, I just said, oh, it's the cot rocking.
No, before that, because did you hear it? It was like a child's cry or a...
Like a woman's
Like
cry.
a woman, like a,
Yeah.
ah, or
Like-
something
yeah.
like that.
They are really trying, and you know, it's quite a lovely, active home.
Well, I've never liked that cot. I've always had a really funny feeling
What's the
about
history of it? Do you know at all?
I don't know. I think it's original to this house.
It is, and the one who walks of the daughters, that belongs with her.
So this is definitely connected to one of the
Yes.
sisters?
Yes.
Did the baby survive?
Derek had
That's what I
mentioned that
wanna
the
know.
lady on the stairs seemed to be hovering above the step level. Andrea thought she could explain why.
I feel that if she was seen, she would be looking as if she was not walking down, but floating down.
I was listening to what you were saying about the fact that her levels are wrong to the floor. It's
Thank you.
because this, going back that way, this house is 19th century, this wing. But also, this going to here is slightly earlier than that.
Yes.
But the staircase is only from the 60s, because Patrick's father put that in. It used to be a spiral before that. I think stone to start with, and then wood to the top floor, and he took it out and put that reclaimed Jacobean thing in, so that would be right.
So the stairs, that's why she...
He didn't pick up anything spinal,
She's
though.
floating and not walking.
Shall we turn the lights off? Let's put the lights out. Let's go for it.
As Jason mentioned earlier, having the lights off would hopefully encourage more paranormal activity, and it seems some members of the crew were feeling uneasy.
What are you sensing?
Oh, I don't want to go in there. That's just a corridor. Oh, I don't like it. Just went in here then, assuming it come from that side, and I've just walked in there and it just feels absolutely awful, and I cannot go in there.
Where does it feel awful?
In there.
Oh,
Rick
no,
was
did that
so
say
unsettled by his
midfielder?
feelings about the doorway.
See,
Jason
let's,
and Derek
back.
came to investigate.
Down here.
Oh, yes.
Brother or cousin or something?
Just at the back of you, Carl. There's a man there, just in the doorway. There he is. Just, so you're right, that's there. In that section there, yes. Right there. You're not sensing him at all? There he is.
Do you mean on this?
Yeah.
No.
Sam, who is he? Who is this man? Oh, right, okay. It's just... Say it again. How do I pronounce that? Okay. De La Fontaine.
Dealer?
It's D... It sounded like De La Fontaine. La Fontaine.
Well, we've got Alfred Carts, no dealer.
Okay, that's him. He walks round. Okay, that's who Rick was sensing.
What are you feeling when you walk forward?
I don't like it.
What is it you're feeling?
What is it you don't like?
It just doesn't feel right. It's making me feel I went round there and it just felt absolutely awful. And then it keeps coming back and forth. And I can't describe it. It's like a...
It's like a real get out. It's a depression.
It's like a depressing thing that just comes upon me. I just can't be near it. And it's whenever I go further down, but it comes to me and then it'll go. And that's why I said I'll go down there, and it just happened again.
Yeah. That's why I was actually holding onto the wall there, because it was just like this. It was
just like something forbidding. Just like something gripped you.
Yeah.
Is it something? Is it frightening?
Yes.
Yes, it is frightening.
Why? Why are you scared of it?
It's the feeling. For me,
I can't describe. It's the feeling, but it's like they don't. Whatever it is, doesn't want you there.
And you felt the same thing.
Literally, I was holding onto the wall at one point, and as soon as I saw Mark was there with the camera, I just, I knew he had a shot.
It's interesting that you've both picked up on the same thing.
One cot rocking by itself, one ghostly presence spreading fear and dread, and a whole night ahead of us in the dark rooms of Athelhampton Hall. Derek now headed towards the tiny chapel, the scene of many spirit encounters.
I don't want no hate towards Derek in the chat, please. Let him rest in peace.
Ralph Banks likes this room.
Ralph Banks?
Oh, yes.
Well, you got it right again.
George Wood.
And again.
He hasn't been over long, Derek. Comes here.
Does that mean he passed recently?
Yes, it's not long ago.
See, I like to put that little bit of history, like back bit of history in the bottom.
Something wrong with my legs.
Do you want to sit down? There's a chair just here.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Someone makes me feel as if I'm not balanced with my legs here.
What was making Derek feel unsteady on his legs? When the feeling passed, he wanted to return to the ground level of Athelhampton Hall.
You know, when it did that slow motion thing, I thought it went jerky again.
Who's Jack?
He's
recording.
Come on then, show yourself. I heard you. Come on, Jack. I know you're here. Come on, show yourself. Oh, there he is, there he is. That's better. This man is about 5'2", no taller. He's got this very, to here, it's like leather, and it goes all the way down to the boots and the legs and what have you, and it's like valves. What do they call that? Some what they do. It's like a Cooper. And this is his area. This is Jack's area. And I'd be absolutely stunned, speechless, so to speak, if this man, through what I've just seen, and as I come into the atmosphere, if he wasn't sensed here. You know.
There is a story of a wine cooper being heard here. It's alleged to be a wine cooper. It's just a sound.
It's Jack. Very real.
Let's look where you say it actually is.
See, we take these away here,
yeah.
And all this area here was different than this, and this was his place.
Why is he still
He's
here?
Still here.
I
feel that he comes back. He's not always here. He comes back in memory, if you like, because I feel this work that he did, he took because I feel in his essence here, the exuberance of pride. Oh, you know, he felt as if he was above a lot of people in his expertise. But also, I get around the same time as Jack, it's like two men unhappy with each other. Two men unhappy. And one of them saying, "That's it. You go." and I challenge you. And it's like, and they were in earnest, these two. They wanted to hurt each other. And it was like the feeling of, you know, walking, and these are the feelings, that's why my legs left me before, because one of the men was worried his legs went to jelly when he had to turn round and walk this way opposite to turn round and point these guns at. One of them was so gutless that he decided he would take the challenge on, but as he turned and walked, his legs virtually went to jelly. He didn't want to do it. And I don't feel that the duel actually brought a fatality. I don't feel that there was a fatality with it.
Right. This sort of duel that you were seeing, is this sort of like a residual haunting, for want of a better word?
Thank you, Sam. Civil War time.
Right.
It's residual.
Connected to that.
Yes, it's residual. It is not two individual spirits coming back.
How did he meet this Sam?
And wanting to show that. That is residual.
Did he just appear to him one day?
Jack returns. And Jack takes great pride in coming and a nice man. No negativity about him.
Derek wanted to go upstairs and find a secret passageway. He was getting information from his spirit guide Sam about the legend of the trapped monkey, Martin's ape.
This is the stairwell down.
If someone just turned up one day and
the monkey,
and they would have stayed with you for life.
I need to go into the cellar. Feel the essence of him. Oh. It seems that this monkey was used to being looked after, cared for. He had a master, and there was one daughter who tried to apparently, you know, befriend. But the reason why the monkey still to this present day roams is because he's not linked up with his master again. He misses him, and he's going through all this.
So he's lost.
But he's a kindred animal,
sad.
a lovely, placid animal.
Can't the master come back and claim
know,
him? Get him?
Like that, a lot. Scratching.
People have reported hearing a scratching noise, which they put down to the legend of the monkey.
It's the monkey doing it. Not because the monkey's distressed or feeling jammed. The monkey's doing this just as a, I suppose, a gesture to say, hey, I'm around, you know.
Well, the story has it the monkey was locked inadvertently in this staircase with somebody else, and it couldn't escape and starved. And that's why it's scratching in an attempt to get out.
No, I beg to differ on that.
Can't
that
be
monkey had the freedom
inadvertently.
to come up and down, up and
That
down.
could be purposely.
And the, he did leave his own physical body here, but it wasn't a case of being jammed.
So would have heard him.
I don't feel in any way, shape or form as if this monkey was distressed before leaving its physical body.
Let's go and have a break. Okay.
Siggy
With
time,
Derek's
Derek.
insistence that the history was wrong about the famous Martin's ape, the night was taking an interesting turn.
Do you trust history
In the
or
early hours
Derek?
of our night at Athelhampton Hall, most of the crew had retired to bed. That left just a few of us to continue our hunt. We decided to split into two groups covering two sections of the house.
What do you mean some people went to bed?
I
You're in
don't
a ghost
think, to be
investigation.
honest.
They're getting paid.
After what I went through before, the way I felt, it can get any worse than that, so bring it on.
As for me, like Rick, we had a bit of a strange experience earlier, and I feel like I've run a marathon. My legs are like, well, like lead, but I'm raring to go, actually.
After feeling my two experiences earlier on, seeing the cradle rock.
Did you see it actually rock?
I've seen the end part of it, yeah.
Wow. So you actually saw the movement on there?
Yeah.
I think that was Stuart, wasn't it?
Jason, the
I
parapsychologist,
do
Bev,
know
our
that
director,
Stuart-
and myself decided to spend some time upstairs by the cot, which some of us had witnessed rocking by itself
Ends up
earlier
with
in the night.
alopecia, which she contributed to an episode.
You're right. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about this house. I don't
It's a fear
like
of the
it.
unknown. That's what people are scared of. It's a fear of the unknown.
I don't like
And this is the unknown.
Yes.
And we've had a few things happen.
And you're a bit shook up?
Yes.
Jason decided to enter the chapel on his own.
I'm coming into the psychic epicentre of Athelhampton Hall. And I actually find that image a lot more frightening than most images of ghosts.
Why?
Or alleged spirits. There's a weird feeling here. Like
oh, you can't hear the motorbike outside. You're
like
kind
you
of
stepped
funny.
across a line, like you'd crossed something, like you were someone you shouldn't be. Sort of that feeling you get when you're a child, you've been naughty and you've done something wrong. And you get that sort of, I shouldn't be here.
You see, it's got down to 2 of us.
Think how he feels.
Yeah, I know. In fact, you see, you've got darkness all around you, and I can't cope with that. And knowing that this is the most haunted room, I really don't like it.
The boys decided to go into the secret passage where the ape was supposed to have been trapped. It was very damp, cold, and very dark.
I mean, Yvette's the creator as well as Karl. So they could choose what rooms they want to go in.
Guys in here for a little bit. Yeah, fine.
I think this would be an interesting place considering the supposed monkeys.
I'm going to sit on these stairs. That's really not crossing with that. Please try to show yourself to us if you can. That is right by my ear. There is something golden. There is something breathing on my ear.
Wouldn't the camera pick it up?
If you're behind there, try and show yourself. There is something definitely breathing on my ear. I don't mind. I don't feel threatened.
Meanwhile, Jason had returned to join Bev and myself by the cot. During earlier filming, we had moved the cot from its usual location and had just come to the conclusion we might have caused offence.
Okay, that's fine.
He wants to feel threatened. She's in bed with another man.
We moved it.
We're very sorry if moving it wasn't a good idea.
Another spark.
We shouldn't have moved it. If we're right in the assumption that we shouldn't have moved the cot here, and that you're displeased or upset that we've moved it for whatever reason, give us another sign with a flashing orb.
Yeah.
Yes, did you see that?
Yes, I did.
Well, normally I would say electrical interference or something like that.
Thank you. So we shouldn't have moved the cot.
It was on command.
I'm sorry.
Yes, we'll put it back. I think we should put it back soon.
Yes. Well, I've just had a very sort of strange experience anyway. Jason's probably going to totally disagree with what I'm about to say, but I think we sort of struck up a kind of strange conversation with an energy around the cot. We were asking various questions such as, you didn't like us moving the cot, you know, show us a light if you didn't, and a light would suddenly flash. So what we're going to do is put the cot back into the state bedroom. Do you think I'm mad, Jason?
No, I'm not saying I agree with what your sort of interpretation of the experience was, but watching the screen there and talking and me talking as well, not just you, there did seem to be some kind of interaction between the things we were seeing on the screen and us. What that was, who knows?
Downstairs in the secret passage, Karl had definitely felt someone or something breathing in his ear. Was it the ghostly monkey?
Actually done, no. Another one.
You know, it'd be bad enough having a person breathing in your ear, but an ape? Really?
I mean, if you come here now and feel that ear,
just kind of
how cold this ear is.
Snarl or a growl to
Does it feel like red to you?
It's freezing.
And that's just
Let me feel the other ear. What's that like? That's nothing like the other one. The other one's ice cold.
This is like a constant. And it's back again now. It's doing exactly the same. Well, that's a first for me. There's something still very cold on the back of my neck.
Was there someone or something keeping the boys company in the secret passage? Whatever it was definitely making them feel uneasy. Upstairs, we continued to keep vigil by the cot. Now watch very closely around the bottom of your screen.
What if it moved on its own?
Where?
I'd be well, quite excited if it did. I've never actually seen an object move of its own accord. I've heard things moving. I've never actually seen something with my own eyes moving. I've seen it on video.
Oh, wow.
Now that, did you see the way that flickered as it came out? Because dust just moves erratically. It doesn't move in straight lines. Now those are impressive.
Although we didn't see the cot move, what we did see were these strange flashing lights.
Those bright ones.
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
No, I've seen what are termed orbs. They're the small round sort of globe type ones. But these ones, these flashing ones, are something new to me. I've never seen that before. Never.
What are orbs anyway?
Orbs are believed to be, by psychics and spiritual people, part of a ghost manifestation, the beginning stage of a ghost actually taking a human form, an apparition, if you like. What we know of them scientifically is that we can't explain them, and that's all we know.
Oh my gosh, look at that! Did you see that?
I did, yeah. The reason that I'm particularly interested in that is because, as we said, we've had activity in that particular area in this room earlier on tonight.
We all heard, well, some of us heard the cot rocking. I heard it rocking, and that was the weirdest thing I've ever heard.
Sounded like a really massive heartbeat to me.
Those sparkly lights.
They are getting stronger. Whatever this is, it's getting stronger because those two flashes that you saw them, they are much, much brighter than the ones 5 minutes ago. I can't explain them.
Our first night in a haunted house had come to an end.
Well,
it had encompassed fear and amazement, with a cradle that rocks on its own, flashing lights and strange feelings amongst the crew. We can definitely confirm that there's something strange going on at Athelhampton.
So was Mitchell and Riley not a part of the original half-hour series? Was that just made to sell it to Sky?
Well, over the last 10 years, I've taken part in hundreds, literally, of investigations of alleged supernatural or paranormal events. And most of the time, nothing happens at all. That dog was obviously seeing something strange. It was looking at something very intently. And when I moved my hand in front of its vision, it was straining to watch whatever it was looking at. And dogs don't do that normally, unless, something is grabbing their attention, like another animal, for example. Now, Derek, the medium, said that the dog was looking at a phantom ape, of which there is a story attached to the house about a phantom ape. So that was interesting. But whether it was looking at an ape or whether it was just Yvette or the lights or the cameras, which, of course, he's not used to, is a matter of personal opinion.
For the first time ever in my experience in mediumship, to actually not be taken over, but semi-influenced by, would you believe it, an animal, and that animal being a monkey.
Is a monkey an animal, or is
trying
it a
to compose myself, trying to hold myself, and I thought I was going to be jumping up, making sounds like an ape and running around the room. And I thought, no, this can't be. It just can't be.
It would have been
I'm
funny.
in this beautiful home. What is a blinking ape monkey doing here? And he was an awesome-looking thing. It's funny, he's shown himself earlier by the side of Yvette. And later, it was amazing what I saw because basically he had a collar on later, but when I first saw him, he didn't. So I don't know what was behind that. Most strange even to me.
We had a lot of unusual occurrences happen here, certainly a lot of absorbing things happening around us, which we couldn't explain at the time.
Karl and Rick must have gone to an area where they were feeling these sensations before the rest of the crew.
I just can't be near it, and it's whenever I go further down, but it comes to me and then it'll go, and that's why I said I'll go down there, and it just happened again. Yeah.
That's what I was holding. I was actually holding onto the wall there because it was just like this. It was
just like something. It's just like something's gripped you.
It is known that spiritual activity, whether it be negative or positive, the people to go into that atmosphere first will catch the brunt of that. Plus, well, I've found since coming on the investigation, Karl and Rick are very sensitive. So, it stands to reason to me. It's gonna, I don't like using the word wallop them, but can take you unawares, and this is why the feelings were coming to them, I feel.
Well, the most interesting thing to me that happened last night was the cradle moving apparently of its own accord, because the architecture of the house is such that if it had been a human being and touched it or moved it, we would have heard them walk away. The floorboards make an awful lot of noise, and Andrea, who lives in Athelhampton Hall, was completely convinced by this, and I think her testimony and the look on her face as she watched it sort of convinced me almost that she was witnessing something unusual, and we couldn't explain how it started to rock, and 3 of us heard the noise, so that was interesting.
Well, it's often said, you know, that the orbs are virtually the first stage, or one of the first stages of build-up of spirit people just before the ectoplasmic stage. And often said the more orbs that come together, the more can formulate and build the outline of that spirit entity.
It's not necessarily paranormal. We link it to ghosts because it is only caught at the moment in places where ghosts have been seen, but we don't know what it is. The orbs that we caught last night, however, were not normal, if there is such a thing as a normal orb, and they were moving very much like electric lights moving across the screen and flashing, which I haven't seen before, and we have seen orbs in many places, but not like that.
To see and experience different, to the physical eye as well, different types of orbs, such as, you know, flashing lights and what have you, it is very, very, very good as far as I'm concerned. And, you know, put it down to this, they've tried very hard in their own way to show us, you know, hey, we are around. And that's quite exciting to me.
24 hours complete at
See, I still say Derek's a fantastic
and there were some very strange
storyteller.
occurrences last night that I don't think any of us will forget in a hurry. We shall see you on Most Haunted at the next location. Until then, sleep tight.
Whether or not he has been 100% honest, he can tell fantastic stories.
I am that scared. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about this house.
I just don't want them sort of disturbed in any sense.
I promise you. Yeah, I do.
It's our home. We
Yes.
live before and everything.
Yeah.
I just don't want...
Well, my sensitivity is not to disturb, okay?
Right, okay.
From the bottom of my heart, I promise, okay?
Thank you.
Feel right. It's making me feel right.
So yes, we shall go to the sign out. So yes, not much happened again. Like I say, Derek is a good storyteller. He makes the show entertaining through the stories. I do like how the little things come across the bottom of the screen, like a little history when Derek says something. Now, I'm going to guess there's times where the history cannot be corroborated with what he says. So I wonder what it says for that. Does it say, Derek is lying? I don't know. But I hope you're enjoying this show. I want to keep it going. I want to move it twice monthly. And apart from the first live, which I think it's in full, you will be getting all the as lives as well. I have been in contact with Little Dot Studios, who have copyright to this. They've sworn that they will never put a strike on the channel. It does get claimed, but it does get blocked in America. If I dispute it, it can lose that block in America, but I can't promise that will happen every single time, especially on the lives. So if it does get blocked in America, it's also on YouTube as well. Dailymotion as well. So if it cannot get on Dailymotion, I'll put in a video that it cannot get on Dailymotion. So with that, I want to thank you all for watching. And if you're on YouTube, could you please like, comment and subscribe? I would gratefully appreciate that, especially if you want to see more of these episodes come in. I want to do the entire run of it. I can do it up to series 15. That is what Little Dot Studios have. Now, we've not made an agreement on anything, that can change. But as of this moment, it's looking safe to get that far. Now, 15 onwards is actually owned by Yvette and Karl. So I may ask them first whether I can. Well, I'll try put it up first, see what happens. If it gets blocked, I'll go to them and ask. And hopefully they say yes, but I can't promise. So, if you're on Dailymotion, could you follow as well? I would gratefully appreciate that too. And to my Patreon members, it is you that is bringing the content to me to allow me to bring the content straight back to you. Thank you all ever so much. I gratefully appreciate every single one of you, and I love you all to bits no matter what tier you are. So with that, I shall sign out and go to the next one. And I really hope to see you there. Goodbye.